What's up, my pawns? Welcome back to another Who Would Win technically, but this one's a bit more story based. I will be playing in the background. I will not be talking. I let an AI build the story as normal between. Well, you'll see who it is between. So for this reason, if you agree with the AI, then let me know. If you disagree, then definitely let me know. I'm curious to see if you agree who won. Whoever wins will be moving on, and I think that I like the way I did this, so I'm gonna just keep it like this from now on. It will be in the background of a Dead by Daylight video game. So enjoy me playing as one of the characters. So this was my intro. I'll be back for the outro, but until I see y'all again, enjoy.
In the shadows of the foggy forest, the trapper, the relentless killer from Dead by Daylight, finds himself face to face with Philip Ojomo, better known as the Wraith, another infamous assassin from the game. The trapper's massive, bare, trap-filled backpack clanks ominously, while the Wraith's spectral form flickers and pulses with an otherworldly energy. They circle each other, predators stalking their prey. The trapper lunges first, his machete swinging in a wide arc. The Wraith phases through the blade, reappearing behind the trapper and lashing out with his own weapon, a glowing, ethereal sword. The trapper spins, his backpack whirling, and a bear trap snaps shut mere inches from the Wraith's face. The ghostly assassin vanishes, only to reappear above the trapper, his sword plunging downwards. The trapper rolls to the side, narrowly avoiding the Wraith's descending blade. He comes up in a crouch, his machete at the ready. The Wraith lands lightly on his feet, his spectral form flickering with annoyance. The trapper charges, his backpack clanking and his machete held high. He swings the blade in a series of rapid, powerful strikes, forcing the Wraith to dodge and weave. The ghostly assassin counters, his sword moving in a blur of glowing energy. The trapper's machete clashes against the ethereal blade, sending sparks flying. Suddenly, the trapper's backpack swings around, a bear trap snapping shut where the Wraith was standing a moment before. The assassin phases through the trap, reappearing behind the trapper and driving his sword into the killer's shoulder. The trapper roars in pain as the Wraith's sword pierces his shoulder. With a sudden, desperate move, he reaches back and grabs the hilt of the ethereal blade. The Wraith tries to pull the sword free, but the trapper's grip is too strong. Using his momentum, the trapper spins around, his backpack swinging wildly. He slams his free hand into the Wraith's chest, sending the ghostly assassin staggering back. The trapper pulls the Wraith's sword from his shoulder, the wound healing almost instantly, and raises it high. With a fierce cry, he brings the glowing blade down, aiming to cleave the Wraith in two. The Wraith phases, the sword passing through his spectral form, but the trapper is ready. As the Wraith reappears, the trapper follows up with a series of dangerously fast attacks. He swings the Wraith's sword in a blur, the glowing blade slicing through the air. The ghostly assassin is forced to dodge and weave, his spectral form flickering as he narrowly avoids each strike. The trapper presses his advantage, his machete and the Wraith's sword moving in a deadly dance. A whirlwind of steel and energy, he lands a blow on the Wraith's arm, severing it at the elbow. The disembodied limb falls to the ground, dissipating into mist. The wraith staggers back, his face contorted in pain and fury. He raises his remaining hand, and a spectral orb forms above his palm, crackling with dark energy. The trapper charges, his blades raised high, ready to deliver the final blow. The trapper's blades sink into the wraith's torso, the glowing sword and machete piercing his spectral flesh. The wraith staggers back, his form flickering and distorted. For deep wounds blossom on his chest, dark energy leaking from the wounds. But the wraith is not finished. With a final surge of power, he unleashes the spectral orb, hurling it at the trapper. The orb explodes on impact, enveloping the trapper in a blast of dark energy. He is thrown backwards, his body convulsing and his flesh charring. The wraith stands over him, his wounds healing slowly. He raises his sword, preparing to deliver the final, merciful blow. But the trapper, even in his weakened state, refuses to yield. With a desperate, final effort, the trapper reaches into his backpack and pulls out a bear trap. He raises it just in time to block the wraith's descending blade. The sword strikes the trap, the metal jaws snapping shut around the glowing blade. The wraith tries to pull the sword free, but the trap holds fast. The trapper, seizing the opportunity, rolls to his feet and grabs his machete. He swings the blade at the wraith's neck, putting all his remaining strength into the strike. The machete bites deep, severing the wraith's head from his shoulders. The ghostly assassin's body collapses, his head rolling away. But the wraith's spirit is not so easily dispatched. His headless corpse twitches and spasms, dark energy crackling around it. The trapper knows he must act quickly to prevent the wraith from rising again. The trapper frantically surrounds the wraith's twitching corpse with bear traps, the metal jaws snapping shut with a satisfying clang. He knows the wraith's spirit is still present, waiting for an opportunity to strike. With a final, wary glance at the trapped body, the trapper backs away, his machete at the ready. He finds a hiding spot behind a nearby tree, his breaths coming in ragged gasps as he watches and waits. Minutes tick by, the forest growing silent and still. Suddenly, the wraith's headless corpse begins to convulse, the bear traps rattling and shaking. Dark energy crackles around the trapped body, building in intensity. The trapper tenses, his grip tightening on his machete. He knows the wraith is attempting to break free, to strike at him from the shadows. But the trapper is patient, his hunter's instincts guiding him, its fingers tightening like a vice. The trapper's face turns purple as the wraith's grip tightens, his lungs burning for air. But even as darkness closes in, the trapper refuses to yield. He reaches up, his fingers closing around the hilt of a hidden knife tucked into his belt. With a final, desperate surge of strength, he plunges the blade into the wraith's chest, piercing its spectral heart. The ghostly assassin's eyes widen in shock and pain, its grip loosening. The trapper gasps for air, his lungs filling with precious oxygen as the wraith staggers back, its form flickering and wavering. He pulls the knife free, a torrent of dark energy pouring from the wound. The wraith's spirit screams, a sound that echoes through the forest and shakes the very earth. The IT collapses, its form dissipating into mist and shadows. The trapper stands victorious, his chest heaving and his body battered. He looks down at the dissipating remnants of the wraith, a cruel smile spreading across his face. He has won, defeating the ghostly assassin in a brutal, unforgiving battle. But the victory is bittersweet, for the trapper knows that in this twisted world, there will always be more monsters to hunt, more prey to stalk and slaughter. He sheathes his machete and knife, his eyes scanning the forest for his next quarry. The hunt is never over, and the trapper's thirst for violence and bloodshed can never be truly satisfied. He disappears into the shadows, a silent and deadly predator. ready to strike again when the time is right.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if y'all enjoyed. Did y'all expect the Trapper to win in this fight? Did you expect him not to win? Let me know. And we will be seeing the Trapper come up once again against his next opponent. Do you think his hunter instincts will be able to help him against the next deadly murder? I think I kind of enjoy this form of thing. I can do all the work to get the story prepped and everything, and then just kind of vibe and play a game while y'all enjoy the story, not really knowing what the way it will go. But thank you guys so much for watching. I already said all that. This has been me, Ace the Game Master, signing off, and I cannot wait to play with y'all next time. Bye.